Hello. Welcome to the podcast. Madness Not Included. We are your hosts, Loony,
Bobby.
and Corey. How's everyone doing today?
I'm tired.
You just woke up. Yes, I did.
Bobby worked this morning.
Bobby had to work this morning after not getting home until 8 o'clock last night.
Oh, no.
Because of stupid work schedule. But, oh well, who cares about that?
So
Force of habit, leave him alone.
last time we talked about fuck.
We did not talk about that.
Hey, at least I have a phone case on my phone now.
We also have a guest.
Yes, we do.
Come on,
She's not going
come
to
on.
say anything.
Say something.
She's not going to say
Say your name.
Hi,
What's your name?
Becca.
There you go.
And that's about her
Contribution, probably.
Yeah.
Seeing as she's being converted into a gamer.
So, I mean, there's a
It's
decent
all
amount
right,
we can
sure.
talk about this time around.
There is a game she's excited about.
Really?
There is. What's something that came up that we'll talk about later?
Okay.
I don't
So
know.
last time we talked about Mordekaiser getting his reworked and how that they were going to try to. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they were going to try to release more champions throughout the year.
I think you did. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
The Mordekaiser rework is done.
Yeah, it's done.
It's so good.
I'm not sure when it's gonna go live, but it's gonna
Has it
get
got
nerfed.
its nerf yet?
I don't
It's
know.
not going to get it on the PvE.
It might. They've nerfed a lot of stuff on the PvE.
I have not looked yet.
But they've already revealed a new champion and her ability kit.
Oh, her ability kit's out too?
Yeah, I watched the
Qiyana?
video on the way home from work.
Empress
Don't
of
do what I do, people. I
Elements.
watch videos while driving.
Ability kit revealed. Where she goes on the map holds influence on what type of attack she does.
Hmm.
So, her passive is called Royal Privilege. Qiyana's first attack or basic ability that damages an enemy deals bonus physical damage. Royal Privilege has a per target cooldown that resets when Qiyana casts Terror Shape to gain a different weapon enchantment than the one she currently has. Seems interesting.
There is a note I need to make. She doesn't have big tits, but she's thick as...
Pluck.
Yes. Just like, it's... What? It's true. I was watching it and I'm like, I was watching the video and I don't know, it's just like hips. It's like... Force a habit, leave me alone. You can glare at me all you want. It's a character in a game.
I also want to put out there,
Decent.
Yeah, but they're not like the rest of the
Well,
female
no.
champions.
also looks like a child.
Also does look like a child. She looks
I
angry.
could. My phone was like beyond arm's
The
reach, so I
RBF
couldn't
on
see it.
her is real.
The what?
RBF? Resting witch face.
Oh.
Just not witch. Use
She's
your
also
imagination.
Bird face.
Bird face. Resting bird face.
the introduction of a new faction for League of Legends. Or Q, Edge of Ixtal / Elemental Wrath. Qiyana swings her weapon, damaging enemies hit, reduce damage to targets beyond the first. Whenever Qiyana enchants her weapon with Terror Shape, this ability upgrades to Elemental Wrath and resets its cooldown. Elemental Wrath. Qiyana overcharges her enchantment to blast it in a target direction, detonating on the first enemy hit or at max range. The detonation damages enemies and River Enchantment briefly roots enemies hit then slows them. Wall Enchantment deals bonus damage to low health enemies, and Brush Enchantment leaves a canopy trail that stealths Qiyana, grants movement speed, and canopy fades early if Qiyana attacks an enemy or leaves its area.
Yeah, she goes invisible worse than a collie in her shroud.
She's honestly one of the most fascinating league champions just because river, wall, or brush enchantments.
The part that I find interesting is how they are applying the enchantments. It was weird. Watching the video, it was she activated her W, which is the one where she gets the type, the elemental. She ends a dash. She can dash over a wall, and she'll get the wall enchantment, even if she dashes into a river. But if she's dashing in the middle of a lane, she gets whatever's closest after the dash.
So, crapshoot.
It's going to be a lot more skill and macro intensive than anything.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the middle of if you're in mid lane, because I think that's where they're expecting her to go, and you dash in the middle of the lane forward,
assassin, so
it's going to be you're probably going to get a wall. If you dash to the side,
or maybe get a brush.
towards the brush, you can get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for you to get a river enchantment in mid lane.
Right. But roaming, she's got 2 dashes.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I think pros are going to be terrifying when playing her.
I want to see Faker play her.
Alright, so the W, Terror Shape. Qiyana can target river, wall, or brush to dash toward it and enchant her weapon with it. While Qiyana's weapon is enchanted, she gains attack speed. Her attacks and basic abilities deal bonus damage, and she gains out-of-combat movement speed while near the corresponding terrain type.
So, like, if it's a target, like, you have to target it. If you target the river, but you don't hit the river, do you still get the river?
I'm not sure.
Well,
like
if you're targeting the river, then hypothetically it means that you'll get the river.
I mean, that would make sense because the way that the setup for the skill shot dash is the tiny little arrow that's I keep making sizes. I'm sorry, people. The arrow is like maybe half an inch to an inch long. I'm not sure. On the screen, but the circle is like it's a 5-inch diameter or so. So I guess wherever you target your cursor when you activate your W
Is where it's
is what it's going to change to. Couldn't really see it on the play because, but it would make sense. Oh, that'll be dumb. Because you could be top lane, just river, wall, or bush.
Not at all helped by the fact of what you had mentioned. Her E is a second dash. Qiyana dashes a fixed distance at target enemy, dealing physical damage to them.
So a dash that does damage. Great.
Another one. Another champion that has a dash that does damage.
Fun.
Assassins. Like the
Yay.
SpongeBob Rainbow for any of those that clearly can't. Well, for anyone that can't actually watch because you're not here.
And her ult. Supreme display of talent.
So stupid.
Qiyana creates a shockwave that knocks back enemies and stops when it hits a wall. Any river, wall, and brush hit by the shockwave explode to deal physical damage to enemies and stun them.
It gets better.
Distant enemies are stunned less.
So, I watched the video on it. I don't know how much you saw of it.
I watched it, I just don't remember it.
When she throws out her ult, it looks kind of like the Nami wave, but not as wide, and it doesn't move. It looks kind of like that. If it goes through a bush, any bush it hits, there's an explosion in the bush. And then any champion that's hit in the river is stunned, just like her W would do, and her Q would do with water element. Mm-hmm. And if you hit a wall with it at all, the entire wall section gets an explosion all the way around it. So the video, it showed them hitting Baron Pit's wall, and it went around that whole horseshoe shape. The entire thing. Just by hitting with the very edge of the ult. But it's still got the river stun as well. So because it also knocks them back. So if you stun them with it into a wall and it hits the wall, they get hit by the explosion too. It's nuts.
So I'm just going to repeat something. I'm really terrified for when pros play this champion.
I don't know if it's... I feel like it's going to be another one of those champions like Kane that doesn't catch on right away. Even though Kane was busted when he first came out. To the point that Fnatic Caps, who's now on G2, played him mid lane and absolutely destroyed the game. I don't think it's...
Everybody started doing
I
that
think it's
because
going to be...
Kane.
Well, they don't, it wasn't even that. I think there was one other game where he was played in lane, but no one else played. I think it was like one jungle game. But now he's for a while he was a common jungler, not anymore because it's not his meta.
Yeah, but Kane was really good. And
He's
no
still
one
really
jumped on
good.
it. Yeah, he still is.
Yeah.
I feel like she's gonna again. I agree. Like she's gonna have the same issue where she's probably not gonna catch on because everyone's gonna ban her to hell. Like,
so in lower elo,
it's
she's
two
gonna
champions.
she's going to get banned either because of A, she's new, or B, well, actually a few things. B, they don't want the enemy team to get them, and the person on their team that wants them has like the 4th or 5th pick, and the first pick doesn't have them.
Or Salt Bean.
Or they don't want their own teammate to have it because, you're just going to feed on it because it's new.
Yeah.
Because that's the low elo banning. That's welcome to low elo.
But higher elo, people are going to try her and not understand how everything works and mess up, and then...
But higher elo, I feel they're going to be able to catch on a lot faster. Simply because they understand the game better.
What's it there for?
Exactly. Well, yeah. I know that I'm sure that Faker, because Faker still does his streaming. I'm sure he's going to stream.
Didn't pick that up at all last time.
I'm sure that when she comes out officially, he's going to play her in a few games on his stream. But at the same time, I don't know his YouTube, his stream account, so I don't really pay attention to it. But I would like to see him play it. Seeing as in Korea, any game that they play, Zed is banned because of him. He forced Zed to be a permaban against him in Korea. In Challenger, it gets banned. I think 75% of games in Challenger, because of Faker as well.
It's amazing and stupid at the same time.
It's great though. That's fantastic.
So stupid.
So I feel like that's going to be another champion like that. There's going to be just one person that sets up the entire Challenger series for a region, and it's just going to be permabanned because of that one player.
And at least on another upside, they'll be able to hit, short distance skill shots unlike somebody.
She can't even auto attack minions, to be fair.
She can't hit someone sitting right in front of her with a pencil either.
I know. But she overshoots it pretty far. Twice.
Yeah.
We love you, Becca.
But
especially me.
Yeah, she tried to hit me with 2 pencils. I was sitting here on my phone, staring like this, like leaned over, just.
And nobody can see what you're saying.
Nope. See what I'm saying? No, we can make them see what I'm saying. We can put subtitles in. A little text box so they can see what I'm saying.
Well, you're talking with your body so they can't see it.
All what I'm doing.
You're talking with your body.
But that's what I'm doing. I'm not
Welcome to the
that.
podcast. We occasionally talk about video games.
We've been talking about the champion.
Sorry, I saw an opportunity.
Yeah, you're good.
And I took it.
On top of other video games, like Nintendo Direct just popped.
Oh my heavens. So, Pokemon.
Sword and Shield.
Unfortunately, we do not have Josh here right now, who is the bigger Pokemon fanatic.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll actually show up in time. He might be here for like the tail end of this again, but it'll be long done and over with, so.
Maybe.
Sucks to be Josh.
So, Pokemon Direct just dropped, and they revealed a few new Pokemon, the new gimmick of this generation, how the gym battles are going to generally work, and the new box legendaries.
They're wolves.
One of which is Zacian, which is a wolf carrying a sword.
Yeah, I keep seeing the memes for that. I'm like, what the heck?
And Zamazenta. It's a really stupid name in my opinion. Zamazenta. And people have already figured out that their names translate to cyan and magenta.
That took so long. I'm sure that people...
Pokemon is like, when you actually get into the names for Pokemon, there's actually a lot of influence for them, and each legendary usually has about 3 or
Zacian and Zamazenta.
Different word
Translations.
origins. And so
Makes sense.
the quickest one was, it's cyan and magenta, but the ZA also has like 5 different meanings across languages. Like, so it would be the ancient of cyan, or some weird thing like that. There's some interesting translations.
Yeah. And, like, one other interesting thing we saw, I'm sure Bobby's going to look at funny. You have raid battles in the game. Yes, yeah, do it.
Give the, just like,
You give the, what? Yeah, you have raid battles. So, like, you can find these, it's like little, like pink flowers?
Something like that.
Something like little pink flowers just off in the world, Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
And you meet up with people there, and then you fight a giant version of, like, Gyarados is one of the things I showed. Raichu, like, you fight a giant version of a Pokemon as a raid battle. But like you got, so yeah, of course we're gonna get to the one that one last. That I think that's the only one that Bobby's seen. the one you've seen, we're gonna talk about last.
Okay.
So obviously you have the 3 starters. You have Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble.
Right.
Which, because of a quote leak, people are already predicting what they're going to turn into. Sobble's going to be like this espionage spy, chameleon type Pokemon. Grookey is going to turn into a drummer.
That'd be sweet.
And here's the one that it's upsetting to me is that
Scorbunny.
this might actually have just been a mistype. The person in the leak said that Scorbunny is going to turn into a pure fighter. It doesn't seem right because it should still have the fire type.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they might have actually just.
But it's probably going to be another firefighting type, is what they're saying.
Yeah, they might have meant it's a pure fire with the appearance of a fighter type.
Yeah.
I really like their fighting fire type starters.
I don't know.
So we can talk about the first one. That's because I pulled up the list so I can kind of pull their stats and everything. So you got Gossifleur, which is the flowering Pokemon. Grass type.
It's probably going to have 2 more evolutions revealed down the line. Just
Yeah,
to
it
make
seems
that-
like the Bellsprout or the Oddish, one of those 2
yeah.
of it.
There's
It's
a
got
lot
2
of
abilities,
other ones we can mention as well, but I can't think of a single one.
which it doesn't seem like they should talk about what the abilities are, like its specific abilities, but the names of them are Cotton Down and Regenerator.
So Cotton Down is a new ability,
Yeah.
and I was told what it does, and I'm trying to remember what it does.
Is it something with its pollen has a healing effect? I feel like that might be it.
No.
Well, like it's Gussifer prefers lands with clean water and air, and its pollen has a healing effect. Its pollen works on people too, and it used to be a common folk medicine remedy for children of the Galar region.
Experience.
Technical difficulties,
We returned.
and we return. You're gonna hear nothing of what happened, and it's gonna stay that way. Don't ask. So back
Like
to
Fight Club.
Gossifleur.
That's the first rule of Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club.
What?
Well, you talk about this.
Talk about what?
Talk about the podcast.
Yeah, of course we do that.
I don't want to
Um,
set the world on fire.
I looked at Bobby as soon as you said it. I was like, I knew he was going to do this. So, like, Gossifleur, kind of just your standard grass type, like, Oddish, or Bellsprout.
That was bad.
The next one, you got Eldegoss. It's a Cotton Ball Pokemon. Or Cotton Bloom, sorry. It's a Cotton Bloom Pokemon. Also, same abilities, though. It's Cotton Down and Regenerator.
It's like it's evolution. That one, I don't remember that one getting revealed.
It's here.
Okay, so
It
there.
might be. Oh, it is. Yeah, this is when Gossifleur evolves into Eldegoss. Its head
Sorry.
becomes covered.
What's the name of the second one?
Eldegoss?
They both have Goss in their name.
Gossifleur. Yeah, they do.
That guy.
Yeah, whatever. I like at first I was thinking,
Kind of like Hop It, Skip Bloom, and Jump Off.
yeah, it's a hop, skip, jump.
Oh right, that thing.
Yeah.
No, I do
so
remember.
the cotton fluff serves as a cushion, helping to protect its head from damage. I mean, and it's like it has random facts on all of these, like highly nutritious seeds. The seeds in its head are highly nutritious.
Pokedex facts.
Yeah. So skip over that one. Let's go to the bird.
Corviknight.
Yeah, Corviknight. You got a raven. It is a flying steel type.
And so many people are going to name it something with Poe.
Oh, absolutely.
Or just rename it Skarmory.
The dashing lord of the skies. It is said
There's
that.
I know there was a
Wait,
meme I
wait,
saw
wait,
about
wait.
that one actually.
Yeah,
This is the second flying steel type, I think.
probably it's Skarmory in this.
I know that the first one. There was a meme I saw recently. It was it showed the new one. I don't remember the name of it. whatever it
Corviknight.
that one. And it showed Skarmory and some other thing, and it was like, it showed a doctor, and it was basically showing that their new child to the Skarmory and the other Pokemon. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I was tired.
Okay. Many say that any Pokemon foolish enough to challenge Corviknight are sent running with a sharp glare and a cry from this fearsome Pokemon. But apparently they're also used for the flying taxis.
Yep, these are the flying Pokemon of. This is how you can fly in this region.
They're highly intelligent. And then, almost the last one, you have a new bite Pokemon called Dreadnought.
So we have this. So there's flying taxis.
Yeah,
When did they start that? Do you know?
it's something.
So this one. So
It's a
I
flying.
want to say this: the whole HM thing was practically killed last generation with Sun and Moon.
that I knew. The reason I'm asking is because there was a different Pokemon game that was fan created that used flying taxis.
They might have used stuff from that. Like
That was my thought. And the
No.
game grossed a lot.
it did.
Well, it grossed. It had a ton of downloads. I don't
Yeah.
know if there was anyone that
There
actually
was
paid
no
any
money.
But
There were funders, but not like they weren't getting anything. They weren't buying the game. It was for download.
so you got Dreadnought, who's the new bite Pokemon. He's Water Rock. So kind of like Tortuga.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was his name.
all false Pokemon.
Powerful
are
jaws
rock.
and muscles, sharp fangs. The bite Pokemon are strong enough to sharp enough to bite through rock and iron. It's another bite Pokemon. It's Trapinch.
It's an early Pokemon that a lot of people are saying that it's probably not getting an evolution because in the trailer you can see this Pokemon at level 50
55. I'm staring at the.
or 55.
Yeah, it is known to be extremely vicious, and it takes a skilled trainer to tame and handle this Pokemon. It seems that some trainers will release Dreadnought back into the wild once they discover they can't handle it. So it's a very vicious type of Pokemon.
So a lot of people are predicting that not only is it not going to have any evolution, but it's probably not going to have the greatest stats because it's going to be an early game Pokemon.
Probably.
So
And then
something that will get replaced on your Pokemon team more than likely, unless you want to try to keep this thing with you at all times.
the sheep in the room.
Wooloo.
Yep, Wooloo.
Wooloo.
The sheep Pokemon. It's a normal type.
Internet fell in love with this thing.
Internet hit this thing hard.
I'm waiting for a certain person to do his job.
No.
Yes.
Now we all know what's gonna happen.
It's undoubtedly going to happen.
Man, no.
Yes.
Man, no.
Yes. It's
But-
going through my head.
Like they, of course, like other than that, you have your standard battles with wild Pokemon that just kind of jump out at you. They all have abilities. Cotton Down. Actually, there it is. Here's what Cotton Down is. When a Pokemon with this ability is hit by an attack, it will send out Cotton Fluff that will lower the speed stat of other Pokemon.
That's what it is.
So,
I was trying to
a
remember.
lot out of a decent amount shown with a lot more that still needs to come.
So, based off of how Pokemon are in past generations, this feels like the replacement of the rodent Pokemon at the start. So it's going, I'm guessing now, it's only going to have one evolution. It might have two. There is a possibility of having a second evolution of it turning into a male and female variant.
Probably.
No guarantees.
And then one last thing with this, like your gym leaders, you have gyms again. But you have
didn't in the last one.
As Sun and Moon got rid of gyms, they were trials. They were gyms, but you
Just
went
not.
about it in different ways.
but
It's
one
an experiment.
interesting thing about the gym battles is you have the Dynamax phenomenon,
Which,
makes your Pokemon gigantic.
and from the trailer, you can guess that the gym leader revealed is the first one. His name is Milo. He's a grass type. So, from the looks of it, you're going to get Dynamax from the start of the game.
Yeah, it looks like the Dynamax band that allows you to get a giant Pokeball and just kind of chuck it in the air, and ta-da! You have a giant monkey or bunny or sheep, whatever you want. You can only do it once
per match, and it's only for 3 turns.
Yeah, but you get max moves
Bless you.
to get the most. Oh god,
You good, BC?
PC, we need you to calm down.
Kitty.
Yeah. So like you get max moves as they're called.
So this generation's looking like it's going to be a good one. I'm excited for what else we're going to get out of this because there's a lot of predictions of this is the UK region. We're going to get a dragon. People are wondering if we're going to get a legendary dragon out of this because there's so
Two
many
wolves.
there's
Hopefully.
so many stories that involve dragons. But the other thing is, a lot of people are trying to figure out if these 2 wolves are in reference to Norse mythology, because Norse has 2 different sets of wolves.
They have Fenrir and his sons.
Actually, that's not always true. It depends on the translation. It's either
Depends.
his sons or his son and daughter.
Either way, it's his kids. Is what
So
I'm
one
getting to.
chases the sun and the
One
other one
chases
chases
the
the
moon.
moon. Which would make sense to follow up sun and moon with the wolves that eat the sun and moon. However,
Good.
there's a different prediction. Is that they are the wolves that stand by Odin's side.
Which
He has 2 wolves.
or ravens.
No, he has 2 wolves and 2 ravens.
So I mean,
Which
Even
wield
then,
a
like-
sword and shield.
that's more than likely what it is, honestly.
And then there's so many like predictions that are going with this just because European mythology is a very amazing thing and very vast to kind of pull from. So a lot of people are predicting that the 3rd legendary is going to be a spear wielder, or because
The Gungnir. Like keep going with Norse mythology, like
or it's going to be something that's going to have yellow in its theme because there's a printer theory because cyan, magenta, yellow,
Yeah.
and black are the colors that are used in printers.
Correct.
And you can make most any colors with those combination.
And on top of it, like the last legend, like if they're gonna do this whole theory of Norse mythology, last legendary could be the Great Serpent.
I mean, well, no, they don't actually have to do that. The legendaries of the Kalos region, X and Y, that already has the Great Serpent. The 3 legendaries of the Kalos region are also Norse mythology inspired.
So who knows if they actually do or they just change up the game completely and keep it as 2. But I feel like that would anger a bunch of people.
Based off of the trailer, the 2 wolves are looking up at a 3rd Pokemon in that situation. So, based off of the trailer, it's going to be another
Listen, 'cause
legendary.
I don't know. I haven't played Pokemon in a while, so like I don't know much.
Just try to ask questions.
Listen,
Pokemon are going to be in the overworld.
Yeah.
But, sadly, because
it's
they're
an
monsters,
open world.
because they are monsters, Pokemon will not follow you in this game. They just released Let's Go
Yeah,
Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, where
You have one
Pokemon
that-
could follow you.
but not in this one.
no.
Maybe.
No.
But, like,
No.
I don't know. I just felt like saying maybe. But look at just the history of Pokemon and how far it's come. It's one of those amazing things. I feel like this is going to be a shorter episode.
No. Yeah, like I'm definitely excited to see what Sword and Shield's gonna bring.
Yeah.
Um,
November.
On top of that, right now going on, we have E3. So
Actually,
we have.
real quick.
Oh, what?
It's
What?
a small thing.
Oh no!
Borderlands 2 just got free DLC.
And it's
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Granted, after
Sure.
July 9th, it will not be free anymore. You will have to spend $15 on it. But it's a 2 to 3 hour, maybe 4 hour if you're doing the side quests.
But it gives you a lot to go off of that's leading into 3.
Plus, it's a quick way of leveling a character from 1 to 30.
Well, you get a free level 30. You can also just grind on one of the bosses in there to get multitude of legendaries, pearlescence, and then their new rainbow type, which I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, those guns are interesting to say the least to hold. Just like this is doing a lot.
But on top of that, it's like you can pull legendaries that are from boss specific things without getting like the community patch that's out that can drop a bunch of stuff.
For Steam or for the PC version of it.
Yeah,
Community patch, which does not exist for a PlayStation version.
No, it does not.
Alright, sorry. E3.
But yeah, so E3 is going on right now. I think the Square Enix one, portion is going on right now. They had the PC gaming and Ubisoft go on today, but so far the only thing that's like available to look up without having to watch the live stream is the Microsoft. It's all of Xbox and stuff. And they announced quite a bit. First thing they announced was Project Scarlet. So the new console that they're planning to put out for the holidays of 2020.
Oh my god.
It is going to have 8K resolution and 120 FPS. On top of that, they made their own SSD to put out peak performance on top, and so try to get rid of any like screen lag, give you the best resolution, give you the best load time, so you're not stuck between loading screens. They want to give you the best performance. Unfortunately, Xbox kind of dropped the ball. Microsoft dropped the ball with this. Which is basically what everything the PS5 was doing.
Yeah.
Where Microsoft had
PS5's
time.
information just came out 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah. Microsoft could have taken that 2-week window and tried to find a way to outdo Sony. They had a chance to, and they didn't take it. Do I blame them? No. It's still a short amount of time to try to add a huge performance thing to a console you're trying to get out next year.
Because they probably already have it in production.
Correct.
This does kind of relate back to like a curiosity of mine. Is Xbox going to drop the ball this next generation as well? Because it has undoubtedly the strongest console of this generation. It just doesn't have the retention. It doesn't have the library to grab people. Bless you. To grab
Shut
people
up.
into wanting to play Xbox.
The exclusives.
Yeah.
That's
PlayStation 4
yeah.
won this generation undoubtedly.
Oh, that's where these next two things come in. So they
This
announced,
generation has been won by PlayStation 4 based off of its sales.
No, I'm saying the E3 stuff that they announced with it. The first thing, which was the most underwhelming of the trailers, still decent though, and like I like to think it was Halo Infinite. You have a new Halo finally coming out, and from the trailer you see Master Chief is back.
So they're actually listening because they screwed up the last one.
Master Chief is back, and it's also implying that Cortana is lost.
Hasn't she
in
been
the
dead?
There's a she could be, she could not be. She's an AI. So it like in the trailer after he gets pulled out of the vacuum of space by one of the UNSC soldiers, brought back to life with the little power that was left in the ship. He holding on to the AI chip of Cortana, plugs it back in, pulls everything up. AI is gone. There's no AI. And then goes into showing off the Covenant took over. The humans had lost. But Master Chief is not looking to give up. So there is a lot to this. and it looks fantastic.
So looking through a bunch of these games that they've revealed, I can say probably 3 of these are not exclusives to Xbox.
Well, yeah.
They just got the rights to reveal them.
Correct. Then you have The Elden Ring, which is From Software, working with George R.R. Martin.
It's an interesting combination. From Software and George R.R. Martin working together.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Well, it's going to be a terrifying game, to say the least.
Yeah. And it's From Software, so
Yeah.
it's definitely going to be something that's up.
Hey, we're going to punch you in the gut.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Until you're dead.
With
And
the
then do it
piston
again.
gauntlet.
We're not going to stop until your body is gone.
Why aren't you dodging?
Roll. Just keep rolling. Next game, The Outer Worlds. Not much shown about this besides the trailer.
People are just hoping for a better Fallout than what
But this wasn't made by
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Yeah, well, this is made by the original people who did Fallout.
Yeah.
Because Fallout wasn't originally Bethesda.
Correct.
Bethesda's first Fallout was 3.
So, but it's definitely Fallout-esque and gives you those kind of options. And it's more set in the futuristic time frame. So it
It's in
looks...
space.
Yeah, it looks...
It's Fallout in space.
It looks good. Not a Fallout fan myself, but it looks good. And it looks
This
like
game might be able to win you over.
it might. Who knows? Like I said, there's a lot that was announced.
Cyberpunk 2077
we'll
finally
get
has
there.
a release date.
We'll get there. Alright, going down the list. Calm yourself.
I'm just going to say this now. The list I'm looking at is in a different order than yours.
It's fine. You're gonna have to wait.
Well, fuck yourself.
Hey. Relax. So, Ninja Theory is putting out a new game called Bleeding Edge. Which, people are saying it's Borderlands and Fortnite mixed with a bit of Splatoon. It definitely has kind of the same art style look as Borderlands to an extent. Not to the full extent, but it's definitely got a bit of a Borderlands feel in there, a very tiny bit.
It's not hard to do. Borderlands art style is cell shaded.
Yeah, but it's a bunch of it's 4v4 battle with a bunch of characters, slashing guns, 4-player team up to take down your opponents. It's kind of a standard thing nowadays.
Yeah. Usually it's 5 though. for a
Yeah,
lot of
but
games.
this one decided to change it up because it's 4v4. You got like a big robotic sumo. You got it's Damon is his name. He's just an Oni with a sword. You got a gun. You got a...
Such a clever name.
I know, right? But it's just a bunch of champions, basically.
Yeah.
So, another thing, you got Minecraft Dungeons.
It's a spin-off from Minecraft.
No, it's a Diablo-style dungeon crawler. And
Last year,
Minecraft World.
Microsoft announced a surprise spin-off for Minecraft with the
Cool.
dungeon crawling action RPG Minecraft Dungeons.
Well, yeah, it's of course a spin-off, but it's Diablo-style dungeon crawling. So you're not building anything like in Minecraft. You're not doing any of that. You are
It's
literally
just the
running
art
around
style.
as a class. You choose a class, you start working on it. From what we can tell, because there wasn't much besides here's your items, equip these, you can get spells, revive. It's 4-player co-op multiplayer. That's about all it really showed. It's coming out in spring of 2020 from what it said. That's all the information we got from that. You got Gears 5, that was announced, but that just popped up as a yeah, so Cyberpunk 2077 finally got a release date.
I've been looking forward to this game for 4 years. At this
So
point.
many people have been wanting this game. And one huge thing about the conference was Keanu Reeves coming out on stage. Because his personification is in this game. And he was just having a fun old time with the fans. It was glorious.
Apparently, he had talked about how amazing and gorgeous this game was, and someone in the crowd yelled out, "You're amazing and gorgeous!"
Yeah, that's right. But it's good to see that this is finally getting its release date that people have been waiting for. And it wasn't a super long time. Then, Gears 5 finally got a day. That's coming out September 10th of this year.
Interesting.
New trailer showing an escape game mode. So it looks like it's battle through these waves. You set up a bomb that's going to destroy all the enemies in here, but you need to get out before it gets to you. Fighting through waves of enemies and trying to get through. Looks interesting. It still shows it didn't show Marcus or any, showed one standard dude. I can't remember his name.
I didn't play the Gears franchise, so I wouldn't know.
Neither did I.
Someone's gonna, if someone comments on this, they're gonna just be like, "It's this. How can you forget that?" Because I forgot. Sue me. Don't actually do that because you're gonna lose. But and then you got two last things for this. One is a big nostalgia throwback.
So let's save the big nostalgia throwback for last. Blair Witch is getting a video game.
I was gonna save that for last because that was Becca's big thing that she was excited for. The one thing she heard from this that she was excited for. But we'll save the nostalgia one because we already started talking about it.
The nostalgia one is much bigger, in my opinion.
It could be.
People have been wanting a game from Rare.
Yeah, but it's still.
And Blair Witch getting a video game, especially
It's also kind of a nostalgia throwback.
They're both nostalgia throwbacks. I would just consider a video game nostalgia throwback is the other one.
Yeah. Either way, I was trying to do something, Loony, and you had to just ruin it.
Yes.
Rude.
I'm not apologizing.
I know you're not. Still, I'm just trying to do something. But whatever.
I didn't know.
It's fine. I blame Bobby.
Cállate la boca.
Whoa. Calm yourself.
Calmate.
So, Blair Witch, getting its own game. That trailer looked amazing.
I'm going to look up that trailer later.
It was good. It looks great. You're running around with a flashlight with your camera. It's Blair Witch. You are a officer with your dog going into this forest where you've heard reports of a child go missing, and you need to investigate. And you get pulled into this nightmarish world, and you need to figure everything out. That's what I can take from this trailer. Not a whole lot of information on that either, but it looks fantastic. And I'm actually excited for it. I'm just hoping I don't need an Xbox for it. But most likely not, because Microsoft works with PC.
Yeah.
So I can just get it on my
All of these are going to be on the PC.
Yeah, because Microsoft works with Windows 10. Because that's what they do.
That's what's been screwing them over the most, actually.
Oh well. Don't think they're going to stop.
No.
And then you have the big nostalgia throwback, Battletoads.
Woo!
The one game Bobby knows.
Well,
Got
so
his attention.
I had Battletoads for Game Boy. I had the original black and white Game Boy Battletoads game. I never beat it. I'll be honest, I never beat it.
It's bringing back this with coloration, HD look.
Yeah.
Same fighting style, and this little scroll fight.
That's a 2D scroller.
2D scroller with
So it's
the
interesting
Battletoads.
to have them returning in a return to form.
And it's a couch co-op game, so you can just get some buddies, sit down and play Battletoads together. Just gotta fight over who gets who.
I get this one today. You get that one tomorrow. No, leave me alone. I'm tired. I was bad. I'm tired. I'm tired. It was. Force Hable.
Force a Hable? Force a Hable.
My mouth has been
Oh,
moving
no,
faster than my brain all day. Leave me alone.
It's all good, man.
Bobby's getting that southern slang.
So we
Oh,
have two more things that were actually announced. Double Fine joins Microsoft. One of the most iconic indie studios is no longer independent. Tim Schafer's Double Fine, the team behind games like Psychonauts, is the latest addition to the ever-growing Microsoft Game Studios. And with that, we're officially no longer independent, though forever indie in spirit, says Double Fine's Greg Rice.
Yeah.
Phantasy Star Online 2 is coming next year.
For Xbox One? You either don't know what's going on with this game or you're very excited.
It is...
Who knows? And it's going to be crossplay. And will be free to play.
Should be interesting.
And another thing, they have their Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And they are pushing it hard this year. So you can get quite a bit with the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And they really want to push it, it seems.
Yeah,
But they're
doing good.
yeah.
But
And
they still lost this generation based off of one fact. PS4 is the 5th best-selling console of all time. And it's on its way to becoming the 4th.
Which makes sense because the PS.
oh, looks like there are some stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
PS1, PS2, PS3 are some of the best-selling consoles of all time.
Oh,
Yeah.
PS2 is like the best, if I remember correctly.
I think so, because of the fact that one, it let people keep playing their PlayStation 1 games, and it had some great titles and other games that came out on it. It didn't have as much competition either.
Yeah.
Xbox came out while it was out, but it wasn't like...
The real fight between Xbox and PlayStation didn't really start until between the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Yeah, and the PS4, one, because that came out before the Xbox One.
But it's always in generations, so
Yeah.
PS3, Xbox 360, and the Wii were one console generation.
Yeah.
I don't know where the Wii U is.
I think it's...
The Wii U is a weird, like, master child of Nintendo because they put out the Switch, which could be considered part of this generation.
I think Switch is considered this generation.
But
I
at the
think.
same time, if you go off of logic,
Could be.
Switch could also be considered next generation already. It falls in a weird place.
Nintendo drops their stuff randomly. It feels like whenever they see an opportunity.
There's a method to their madness.
There is, but no one understands it. Nobody understands it. Whereas Xbox and PlayStation are competing to try to drop something that can compete with each other constantly.
Yeah.
Like the 360, PS4 came out because they were trying to compete with the 360. 'Cause the 360, as much as I'm not a big Xbox fan, like I was giving it 360. It was better than the PS3, in my opinion. The PS3 was a bit underwhelming, in my opinion.
Yeah, PS3 lost its generation. A
Um,
lot of people actually consider the Wii to be the winner of that generation.
see, and I
don't know why.
I didn't like the Wii. I thought that the Wii was good for people that had big rooms to play in, but for the majority of like middle class, like lower middle class, or just middle, like kind of like my family and my friends, the Wii was not good because you didn't have space.
Yeah.
Unless you dedicated an entire room to gaming and TV, and even then, still, like, we ran into the problem
The
that...
Wii's a good family console, something that you
Yeah.
set up in the family room or entertainment room.
Yeah. Whereas the Xbox and the PlayStation are more of, like, the competitive gaming systems. They always have been.
Stuff like Call of Duty games.
Yeah, which Call of Duty, I'll openly admit, I was competitive in. Like,
Hopefully, going into this next console generation, crossplay will be a much bigger thing.
Hopefully.
I believe there's already big talks of PlayStation opening up to it for the new system.
They've started opening up a bit.
But I think it's going to fully explode with the new systems.
Yeah. So some stuff from Ubisoft's thing has been shown, and a little bit from.
Ubisoft should be interesting.
So
Because
like
it's
EA,
probably gonna have
had-
Assassin's Creed.
EA had one thing to show: Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That was it.
People this is one of those games people have been dying for. And
Um,
my big issue is it's coming from EA, so there's no guarantee of it being good.
Correct. So one of the big things that apparently Ubisoft announced was the new Watch Dogs. You got Watch Dogs Legion coming out, so you got a continuation of that, and looks like it's set in a post-Brexit dystopian surveillance state.
Interesting.
Hacking, combat, and other open-world staples are still a huge part of it. But it also has a mechanic whereby you can recruit players and then control them in the game world. So you can do a whole lot. You can also play as a grandma.
Huh.
You can be an old lady walking around with a gun.
Terrifying.
The development team behind Assassin's Creed Odyssey made a new game called Gods and Monsters. Very cartoony style game.
It's not another Assassin's Creed.
No. Very cartoony styled game. Don't have really time to watch this trailer to see anything about it. Just kind of going through the games that were announced. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So you had that. John Bernthal came on stage with a dog to announce this game. It's no Keanu Reeves, but hey, he brought a dog. And another kind of wacky game that looks like a sports game. It's Roller Champions. So you have the... it says it looks like a cross between Rocket League and that old classic game Speedball.
Interesting.
So, looks like... Oh! From June 13th to the 16th, Ubisoft is making Division 2 free to play.
Interesting.
So you give it people to test it out.
So
I want a new Rainbow Six.
we still have PlayStation 4, Nintendo.
Yeah, you still got the Nintendo
or
Direct.
Sony, not PlayStation 4. Sony, Nintendo.
See, Square Enix, which is happening right now.
To give some idea of exactly when we're recording.
So, still got a lot to come from E3, and we'll be able to talk more about it
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks when we.
In 2 weeks, that'll probably be all that we'll be able to talk about.
There might be more.
Who knows? Well, it depends on how long we take.
But I guess for now, we sign off with these lovely people.
Yes. Thank you for joining us for Madness Not Included. I think we're actually supposed to do the whole YouTuber thing. If you like the video, like it. If
Like, comment, and subscribe.
yeah, all that
Oh my
fun
gosh.
jazz.
Don't forget to get your Starbucks. That's what Corey just sounded like.
Oh my God, Becky,
That was nowhere
Starbucks!
near what I was
That's what it sounded like to me.
Why is Becky the word that I always go for? With the
Well,
name?
seeing as her name's Becca and she likes Starbucks like that, it makes sense.
Yeah, but
I knew
I
this
did
chick
that.
named Becky.
thanks for joining us. See you next time.